Jacob Eason. A name you may have heard circulating on the NFL media circuit for a while now. He's one of those guys with the requisite size and skill set that most NFL teams are looking for at the quarterback position, but with enough knocks against him to push him out of the first round discussion. At 6'6", 231 pounds, this man really looks the part, especially when you factor in that he has an absolute laser gun for an arm. I mean, with the velocity he throws at, it's like watching Zeus throw lightning bolts. Now, he's not super mobile, but he can move around. However, his best work has been done from the pocket. He's a true pro-style quarterback prospect with NFL pedigree, as his father, Tony Eason, was drafted in the first round of the 1983 draft by the New England Patriots. And although his career wasn't particularly long, he had his heroic moments. Most notably, throwing 3 touchdown passes to defeat the Marino-led Miami Dolphins in the AFC Championship game. Unfortunately, he would go on to have what was ranked in 2008 to be the worst Super Bowl performance of all time, going 0 for 6, getting sacked 3 times and losing a fumble. He was yanked in the second quarter. Yet, that NFL influence shows up in Jacob's play, as for the most part, when he's not under pressure, he looks very comfortable in the pocket. Now, some of the knocks that he has to work on include anticipation, poise, and like many other prospects, footwork. He has good pocket presence up until the pressure mounts, and then he starts to get a little shaky. He also needs to learn to get rid of the ball instead of taking sacks. Like father, like son, I guess. Let's take a look at his top 5 NFL fits, starting with number 5, the Las Vegas Raiders. John Gruden has a love affair with the quarterback position, yet history suggests that he will not try to take one early. Of the 8 NFL drafts he's presided over, he's taken 3 quarterbacks: Chris Sims in the 3rd, Bruce Gradkowski in the 6th, and Josh Johnson in the 5th. And seeing as how the jury is still out on whether or not he even freaking likes Derek Carr, and despite making Marcus Mariota the highest paid backup in the league, it wouldn't be a total shocker to see Gruden and company make a move on Jacob Eason. Gruden likes to develop young arms and enjoys reclamation projects with raw talent, but he also likes smart, battle-tested quarterbacks. Jacob Eason kinda falls in the middle. Young, strong-arm talent with upside that comes with whatever knowledge his former first-round pick father imparted on him. Not to mention the fact that Eason ran a pro-style offense in college. Sounds like a pretty good fit to me. Hell, they should probably be higher up on this list, but oh well. Number 4, the Detroit Lions. Matt Patricia is on his way out, if they don't get it turned around this season, which likely means that they will not be selecting a quarterback with the 3rd overall pick. They need someone who can contribute immediately from the spot. And considering they're expecting to have Matthew Stafford back, they're likely going best player available if they don't trade down. That being said, after being an Iron Man for the last few seasons, Stafford finally showed some vulnerability, suffering a back injury that took him out for half the season. They're going to want to supplement that quarterback room with some fresh talent, considering what they had last year did very little to ease concerns if Stafford should go down again. With that said, Eason's size, arm strength, pocket passing style, and willingness to hang in and throw with pressure in his face makes him an ideal fit in Detroit, where offensive coordinator Darrell Bevell would probably be foaming at the mouth, getting the opportunity to work a young gun like Eason into his system. While I don't have a breakdown of Bevell's system, I can tell you that he came up through Green Bay, serving as the quarterback coach to Brett Favre, Doug Peterson, yes, that one, Craig Nall, JT O'Sullivan, and Aaron Rodgers. After adding Matthew Stafford to that list, it's not too much of a stretch to think their offense will be one that makes use of strong arms, and this kid's got one. I should also toss in that Bevell previously served as the Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator, during which he scouted Russell Wilson and was one of the few scouts to attend his pro day. Upon Wilson's drafting, Pete Carroll was quoted as saying it was Bevel's project. We all know how that turned out. Alongside Bevel is quarterback coach Sean Ryan, whose coaching credits include helping Eli Manning make the Pro Bowl in 2012, the rapid development of Odell Beckham Jr. as Ryan served as wide receiver coach from 2014 to 2015, and coaching Deshaun Watson from 2017 to 2018. So it's safe to assume that the wrinkles in Eason's game could probably be ironed out in Detroit.
Number 3, the Denver Broncos.
Currently, Denver's quarterback room is as follows: Drew Lock, Jeff Driscoll, and Brett Rypien, with Lock being the presumed starter. Who really knows what's going on behind him though? Or if the starting job is even his to keep. He played well and very well could continue to, but that backup job could still be up for grabs, and Eason appears to be exactly the type of guy Elway likes. Tall with a strong arm. Not to mention, he's related to a former NFL quarterback. That might seem strange to include until you factor in that Elway has drafted 2 such quarterbacks already. Chad Kelly, nephew of Jim Kelly back in 2017, and Brett Rypien, nephew of Mark Rypien in 2019. Couple that with their coaching staff, the relevant members consisting of former Giants head coach Pat Shurmur as the offensive coordinator, and son of the legendary Don Shula, Mike Shula, as the quarterback's coach, who together have over 50 years of experience between the two of them. Mile High is fertile quarterback ground, and Eason could benefit greatly from being there.
Number 2, the Indianapolis Colts.
I'm sure we're all getting tired of this team popping up on these lists, but hey, they need a guy. And naturally, Eason is a great fit for how they like to play ball. If he were to go to the Colts, Eason would be joining a well-coached team with an offensive bend. Head coach Frank Reich was the offensive coordinator for the Eagles during the 2016-2017 campaigns, including the Super Bowl victory. He was instrumental in the development of Carson Wentz, and before his time there spent a couple years coaxing 4,000-yard seasons out of Phillip Rivers. When combined with their third-year offensive coordinator, Nick Sirianni, and second-year quarterback coach Marcus Brady, you have the makings of a QB-needy team with an established bridge quarterback in place and a great backup to learn from, and overall a great place for a young quarterback to develop. Now before we get to our number 1 choice, I want to remind you to like, subscribe, and ding the bell so that you stay up to date on all the new videos as they drop. And of course, some honorable mentions. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, come on. The Philadelphia Eagles. Wouldn't hurt. The Green Bay Packers. The Atlanta Falcons. They keep showing up too, huh? And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And number 1, the Los Angeles Chargers.
Remember when I said this kid is like Zeus throwing lightning? Where better would a lightning slinger fit than with the frickin' bolts? Does he not have the Chargers written all over him? Okay. In all seriousness, Phillip Rivers is gone. And despite what the team says, Tyrod Taylor is not their future. But he represents a great way for them to try before they buy the mobile quarterback craze. If he can stay healthy, Taylor is a solid quarterback who's best known for not turning the ball over. That steady hand and that first in the building, last to leave it type of professionalism would be great for any young quarterback coming in. Just ask Baker Mayfield, who was playing his best ball with T-Mobile in his building, and a bunch of other factors, but I digress. The Chargers coaching staff is solid. Anthony Lynn has so far been a pretty good coach, yet the transition to LA hasn't exactly gone as planned. That being said, they are an offensive-minded coaching staff, with Lynn having spent most of his career as a running backs coach before becoming the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills and later interim head coach. Since taking over as the Chargers head coach, He's amassed a 21-11 record in the regular season and a 1-1 record in the postseason. The team fell off considerably in 2019. Like I said, the relocation hit hard. It was like every game was an away game for them. And Melvin Gordon held out and stuff, He now enters his third season with much to prove, and a quarterback he's very familiar with in Tyrod. Beside him is offensive coordinator Shane Steichen. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm German, so I assume that's how it's pronounced. Who knows? He previously served as the team's quarterbacks coach, and seeing as how they have yet to hire another one, it seems he may be pulling double duty. Which may not be such a bad thing, considering in his time coaching quarterbacks for the Chargers, Phillip Rivers threw 2 or more touchdowns in his first 12 games of the 2018 season, registered a passer rating of over 90 in his first 13 games, and had a record-breaking performance against Arizona as he posted the most efficient game in NFL history, setting all-time marks for single-game consecutive completions with 25, and single-game completion percentage with at least 20 pass attempts, 96.6%. The way I see it, the Chargers are one more down season away from a full rebuild, and a coached-up Jacob Eason could find himself as the centerpiece for the new Chargers. And that's gonna do it for us today. I want to remind you all to like, subscribe, and ding the bell to stay up to date on
all the videos.
Check out some of my other ones. Share with your friends, stay safe out there, and thanks for watching.